My name's Trixie the Golden Witch. I eat a lot of food and I'm gonna start reviewing it today. What are we starting with? Well, we've got this frozen Reds Birria burrito. Pose for the thumbnail. It's made with seasoned pulled beef. Now, if you've never heard of birria, this is like a Guatemalan style of cooking, basically, that is originally using goat meat, where the idea is that you slow cook the meat all day in a combination of spices. And it caught on as a trend. They started using beef in the United States because that's what we mostly eat here. So beef birria is now a conceptual style of making beef. Pulled beef, slow cooked all day in a combination of spices. I had a feeling this would appear as a frozen food item eventually, but it doesn't really make any fucking sense. Like, conceptually, this is as far away from the appeal of birria as it could possibly be. Now, funnily enough, this has multiple cooking methods. The fastest one is to preheat your air fryer while you are microwaving the burrito for 60 seconds and then cook it in the air fryer for 9 minutes. Whereas if you don't microwave it first, it will take 18 minutes in the air fryer. Or you can just microwave the fucking thing for 2 minutes. We're gonna do the combination method. Because in my experience, that has been the best. We want a 350 degree. 15 grams of protein is pretty good for one little burrito. 310 calories isn't too crazy or out of control for something like this. What all do you have in you? What is this? Red's gear? I didn't even notice this. I guess there's a point reward system to get gear. I wonder what it means by gear. Does it just mean like clothes, apparel? Pulled beef birria with water and rice starch product. What does that mean? What does pulled beef birria with water and rice starch product as all one ingredient mean? Put that in. Reduce the time to 9 minutes. Okay, beef, water, concentrated crushed tomatoes, spice, salt, rice starch, yeast extract, sugar, molasses, natural flavors, cayenne pepper puree, which is chili pepper, salt, and water, paprika, dextrose, lime juice concentrate, and cider vinegar. That's what that all means. Then water. The second biggest ingredient is water. Tomatoes, pepper jack cheese, pasteurized milk, jalapeno peppers, cheese cultures, salt enzymes, onions, brown rice, pinto beans. It's interesting that the brown rice and the pinto beans are such a small part of this because they definitely contribute a lot to the taste. My first experience with birria was at a chain restaurant called Birria Guadalajara in Southern California, which is a great spot that I would highly recommend if you live in the south part of the LA metro area. There's a whole bunch of them down there and pretty much nowhere else. And I had never even heard of it before eating it there. And I evangelized it quite a bit on social media, as I suspect many people were doing at the time. Birria spread from the West Coast rapidly, and at this point, you pretty much can't go to a Mexican restaurant in the United States and not find birria. It is a trend. It is a full-blown trend. So, of course, this means that the quality varies heavily, because what is birria really? As a marketing term, it basically just means pulled beef, shredded beef. Some places are truly slow cooking it, making it to the full extent of what it's supposed to be. Some places really are not. When you've reached the level of having birria frozen in a burrito, it feels like the meaning is completely lost. We're no longer, this is just roast beef. This is just pulled beef It does not need to be referred to as birria. It has no real connection to what you are expecting when you get birria. Does that mean it can't be good? No, it doesn't mean that. It can still be good, and we're going to find out momentarily. I say as though I have not already eaten a bunch of these, but let's find out. We have 2 minutes left on the timer, but considering I'm worried this thing's going to start exploding, spewing, because I've seen them do that, particularly when they go for the whole 18 minutes. I mean, it looks done. We'll see what happens. Alright, I've poked some holes in it to air it out so I can eat it faster. I'm curious to just try this like a chip, you know, this top part that's kind of... It's actually pretty good. Just as like a flour tortilla. Yeah, the tortilla in itself is pretty enjoyable. Some bitch. Well, this is what we're looking at. This is what we're working with. Let's see some of what looks like shredded beef. It mostly just kind of looks like a paste. It definitely tastes like shredded beef. Do I think it tastes like birria? Not really. So here's the thing. I've eaten a lot of frozen burritos in my day. And if you told me that this was just like a regular bean and cheese and beef burrito, I would believe you. Like, it tastes more of the flour, you know, and bean and cheese, like cheese sauce type flavors, than it does anything else. It really just tastes like any other frozen burrito for the most part. You occasionally feel the texture of shredded beef. And like, I know intellectually that beef is contributing to the flavor. Like, I think, okay, well, it mostly tastes like bean, cheese, and flour. But I know that that extra feeling I'm getting that's like a little bit of meatiness is coming from the beef, but it doesn't specifically have beef flavor. It does not taste like beef. It has some of the texture of beef. It has the feeling of there is meat in this. But the flavor of beef or birria is just not detectable in this. It is good. It is tasty. As far as frozen burritos go, this is one of the best frozen burritos I can think of. But does it in any way resemble the appeal of birria to me? Not really. If you went to like a Mexican restaurant and you got a birria burrito, it would be like evident just by looking at it that it was mostly shredded beef. Like, a birria is unique among Mexican dishes in that it's more meat than anything else. It's like an explosive amount of meat. You can see here there's like maybe a half meat, half other stuff kind of going on. Let me try eating like just some of the birria. Yeah, that tastes like a pot roast. Like, that does taste like beef. When I eat it just by itself, it does taste like a pot roast beef. Again, none of the uniqueness of birria specifically. Birria is not just about being shredded beef. It is very tender, which is nice. That is something I look for in birria. but it doesn't have any unique or robust flavor. Birria is about the robustness of the flavor. It's almost specifically something that doesn't make sense to do in a frozen burrito form. But again, this is marketing. I understand why it's being done, and it is good. I'm probably going to give this like a strong 7. As you know, as a thing to eat as like a midday, not quite a meal, not quite a snack. It's got a lot of protein, which is nice. So as far as a 300 calorie import with 15 grams of protein, this is pretty solid. I would not go so far as to call it a birria burrito, but it is a good shredded beef burrito. Now, being that I am relatively small, that snack is actually not very filling to me. Like, it is more of a tide you over kind of a thing. I know that whenever I make these for my husband, he eats 2 of them. So even then, he'll probably eat more than just that. So it's really more of like a part of a meal than it is something that just you could eat one by itself and be totally satisfied. Like, I still am hungry after eating that. I'll probably go eat something else. Maybe something less calorie dense. And again, 310 for a frozen burrito is not terrible. Like, I don't feel like I ate something pointless per se. I like that it has so much protein in it for being something that's kind of light on its feet. But like, I wouldn't necessarily say that this belongs in like a workout regimen or anything like that. I could definitely imagine some people just eating a whole box of these at once. They are fine. They're good. Again, 7 out of 10. It's not a high utility meal, but it's also not like a disaster for your macros or anything like that. It's a perfectly fine, serviceable, midday snack kind of a food. And that's all I've got to say about it. This is a show where I'm going to review random food that I eat that I did not make myself. I have another channel that's just for food I actually cook, where I show myself cooking that food and eating it and rating my own food. This is a lower score than I gave to the cheeseburger I made the other night, but that's not a big surprise. I'm pretty good at making a cheeseburger. Should I ever challenge myself to make a birria burrito, I'll compare it, though, considering what it actually takes to make real birria. I'm probably not going to be in that realm for quite some time. As far as things called birria burrito, this is one of the worst I've had, but birria burritos are usually really, really good. If you live in Norfolk, Virginia, there's a place called Taco Burrito Company where you can get a birria burrito for like $15 that's the size of my whole fucking head. That's almost impossible to clear in one go, and it's phenomenal. So, if you're in town, go there, check out your local Mexican place. Birria burrito or whatever birria food they have is probably one of the better items on their menu, even if they don't do it that well, because shredded beef is great. Anyway, check out the description for links to my other 100 YouTube channels, and thanks again for watching. Birria forever.